Well, welcome back to The Lead in our national lead. You're looking right now, live pictures at President Obama in Detroit, Michigan, where he's touting the comeback of the American auto industry. His visit comes while the state deals with two major crises, including the broke and broken schools in Detroit. The president was greeted by Detroit public school teachers who are holding a rally there. Almost all of the city's public schools closed today because teachers called in sick to bring attention to horrifying conditions at their schools. Young students breathing in black mold while sitting in classrooms infested with rodents, all because of a lack of funding. And then there is the lead-poisoned water 70 miles away from Detroit in Flint.
I am very proud of what I've done as president. But the only job that's more important to me is the job of father. And I know that if I was a parent up there, I would be beside myself that my kid's health could be at risk. And that's why over the weekend I declared a federal emergency in Flint to send more resources on top of the assistance that we've already put on the ground.
President Obama will not be making the journey to Flint from Detroit to see firsthand the toxic water catastrophe, but for the first time since 100,000 residents in Flint became exposed to dangerously high levels of lead in their water. Michigan Governor Rick Snyder admitted last night that his government did not do enough.
To you, the people of Flint, I say tonight, as I have before, I am sorry and I will fix it.
Governor Snyder also pledging $28 million to solve this crisis. Will that be enough? Let's bring in our guest, the mayor of Flint, Karen Weaver, who's in Washington for the U.S. Conference of Mayors meeting. Thanks so much for joining me. We should point out to our viewers, you were just elected in November in part to fix this crisis, so this is not something that I'm about to beat you up for ignoring for all this time. You had a meeting with President Obama in the White House. What did you have to say to him?
You know what, I wanted to let him know firsthand what was going on in Flint and what we were dealing with. And this is something that we've been dealing with for nearly 2 years. It will be 2 years in April. And it's a twofold kind of situation. We have an infrastructure crisis, but we have a public health crisis in the city of Flint right now. And even though we have gone back to Lake Huron water through Detroit, we're still in trouble because we still can't drink our water.
When did you first notice, you're a resident, when did you
Yes.
first notice something was wrong with the water?
Shortly after the switch. And that's when a lot of people noticed, shortly after the switch to the Flint River water.
Did you stop drinking it?
I didn't start drinking it.
Oh, you never drank it?
No, because I had concerns about the Flint River water right from the beginning.
I want you to take a listen to Governor Snyder at the State of the State address last night. Here's one of the things he had to say.
For those whose mistakes contributed to this disaster, we are fully cooperating with investigations and will hold those individuals accountable. And let me be perfectly clear to all of state government. In situations like this, they must come to my desk immediately, no delays, no excuses, period.
What's your reaction?
Well, you know, he said some things that we're okay with, but it's not enough. What he did and what was put on the table yesterday really isn't enough.
The $28 million for
that's not
infrastructure,
enough. No, that's not enough.
What do you need?
That's a very good question. You know, there have been estimates out there, but that's only about infrastructure, and that's why we can't say exactly what we need, because how do you put a cost on what's happened to what we've done to people, what's happened to them? And we know we have kids that are going to need lifelong services and supports.
Yeah, because
so how do you put a cost to that?
the effects from the lead won't even start showing for 5 years.
Exactly. So, you know, we have always wanted people held accountable. That was one of our why we were so angry and so outraged, because no one was being held accountable.
Let me ask you, in addition to Governor Snyder being held accountable and the people in the state, what about the EPA? The EPA first confirmed that there was something wrong with the water in April, according to the Detroit News. But the citizens of Flint didn't find out that that was confirmed until months later. EPA says, oh, well, we were trying to deal with the Michigan Department of Environmental Quality. Is the Obama administration responsible as well?
That's been part of the problem. Is the buck has been passed around, and there's been a lot of finger pointing, and so a lot of people knew what was going on, but nobody came forward in a timely manner because, like I said, this will be almost 2 years in April. It took almost a year for us to get that information, and so there's been a lot of passing the buck on this.
It's horrifying, though, because we're talking about months and months and months. People knew that there was a problem.
And no one said anything.
People in Michigan with Governor Snyder, people in the EPA, on the federal government, and they let kids keep drinking this water.
Exactly, and one of the things we did talk about even this morning with EPA was they need to be much more aggressive in what's going on with Flint.
Well, Madam Mayor, stay in touch with us.
I will.
Let us know what's going on. Stay in touch with my staff, and when you're not getting the response you need from Governor Snyder or from President Obama, you let us know, you come on TV, and we will shame them. I'm sorry that it took us so long to get on the story.
Thank you, I appreciate it.